What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here, and today we're talking about the PlayStation 5 because apparently it seems like maybe, even if you manage to pre-order the system, even if you have money down, even if your games are registered and you're ready for the beginning of the PS5, well, you may not have it. There is a chance that, despite the fact that you are prepared, Sony themselves is possibly not. Now, over the course of the last couple days, I have been covering a lot of this weirdness of the fact that the PlayStation 5 has been having some issues of, if anything, having too much hype. Of maybe there's just so many tens of millions of people trying to grab the system that it is just completely impossible to track down, even if you have the money available. Like, this is one of the stories I talked about in a previous video, which is the fact that PlayStation 5 pre-orders technically sold out before the system was even officially available. Because people were actually rushing to pre-order it so fast, places like Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, they opened up pre-orders a day before they were actually supposed to, so even if people were patient and trying to obey the Sony rules, they ended up being screwed over. But now things actually go a lot deeper because of things like Amazon.com. A lot of people were actually going, all right, I love online retailers. I'm extremely ready for the next generation. I've managed to scrimp and save. I've got $500. I'm going to go to Amazon.com and pre-order it. Well, those people unfortunately got an email saying the words, we are sending this to let you know that your PlayStation 5 console may not be received on the day of its release due to high demand. This is a problem I've seen a lot, which is just the fact that it seems like there's just way more people that are here in line trying to get the PlayStation 5, and if anything, it's kind of clogging up the network. It sounds like in an age where everybody's trying to get stuff shipped, everybody's shipments are actually getting slowed down. But the news we have today is actually much worse, which is that now we have some confirmation over in Europe that there is a chance that even if you did manage to pre-order this, even if you did have a guaranteed spot for the system, you're probably not going to have it on release day. Sony has started informing retailers of their PlayStation 5 Launch Day Allocation. Now, this is actually coming from a specific place called Shop2 over in the United Kingdom, and they had some very interesting processes to their pre-orders. But let's read this here. The retailer ran a system which essentially let customers pre-order a PS5 console by registering their interest prior to the pre-orders going live. Once PS5 pre-orders officially launched on September 17th, which, as you guys remember, September 17th was a bit of a freaking dumpster fire because of everybody trying to pre-order, customers were given a short window to confirm if they wanted to keep their pre-order. Now, this was honestly an interesting technique. It was a way for them to try and measure and get people, who are like us, people who are hardcore gamers, people that are already just so ready and so much just timing down to the second. I think that this idea was good, but the execution probably wasn't the best because now people are kind of screwed. The retailer has now started informing customers whether they will be able to deliver their console in time for launch. We have received the allocation details from Sony, and unfortunately, we regret to inform you that you will not be able to fulfill your pre-order on day one release date, reads an email from Shop2. Now, this is what's annoying, is that this is the people who have already paid it off. This isn't just some randos. This isn't the email notification of if you pre-ordered it now. A lot of this are people who paid for it on September 17th, which means that now, 11 days later, you're basically being told, too bad, so sad. Now, as this goes on, you can see that this is something that actually shows people pre-order it, everything was in here, and now you're just given the option of, do you want to deal with it, or do you want to try and remove your pre-order? And I feel bad about the fact that so many people are actually just getting boned by this. So many retailers have completely sold out, as we saw the other day, and still, now people have cash in hand, they're ready for launch, and it seems like Sony themselves isn't. Now, I'm going to put on a little bit of my conspiracy hat here to try and think about what's happening. There is a good chance that if you pre-ordered here in America, you're probably good. At least I hope. It seems like you're probably going to have it within 72 hours of release. At least that's the way it seems. But why is this happening? What has been the catalyst for this crazy freaking conundrum? How is it that this Sony manages to have billions of dollars but can't get people their systems on day and date? I have a theory about this, and this is my own speculation, but let's think about this. Why have there not been more leaked pictures of the PlayStation 5? Why has there not been more stuff showing, like prototypes floating around the internet? I mean, sometimes stuff gets out, sometimes it doesn't, but my thinking is this. I truly believe that the PlayStation 5's consoles have only been getting produced for the last like 3 or 4 months. I think that it's probably been maybe since like April when they started actually getting a chance to go into the factories and construct these systems. So even though the hardware is completed, they've managed to finalize the design, the specifications, the solid state hard drive, the controller choices they're making. They're just now getting a chance to actually say, okay, now let's glue it together. Now we have every little piece we need to construct the systems themselves. I think that this is a timeline thing. I don't think that there's a particularly high failure rate. I don't think these systems or the system on chip is like disintegrating in the factories. It seems to me, as a complete amateur and just a gamer who likes to look at a lot of gaming news, it seems like maybe they just haven't had the chance to try and keep up. There is just so many tens of millions of people right now who are ready for the PlayStation 5 launch, and Sony just hasn't had the number of hours in a day to even keep up. I think this next generation is going to be interesting because I truly do believe that this is going to be the biggest console cycle ever. I have a feeling that console gaming now has just become so perpetually mainstream. People are just so excited for the Xbox Series X. People now are so hyped for the PlayStation 5. I've got a pre-order on both and I'm incredibly excited for it, but it seems like things has managed to get super mainstream because of things like the Xbox 360 was big. The Xbox 360 really kind of modernized gaming by dropping things like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and then the PlayStation 4 managed to be mainstream with games like Spider-Man and God of War, and of course things like Uncharted. But I feel like as we see things get widened, as we see more people getting ready for the next generation, more people just kind of treating gaming as a normal hobby again, I think that Sony is just trying to keep up. I think they realize that this next generation, they're just going to have to keep making games. They're going to have to keep making consoles. They're going to have to keep trying to construct every single controller they can, and we'll see if they can even keep it on the store shelves. But this has just been some off-the-cuff speculation because honestly, I think this news does not look great. I am a little bit nervous. If I can just be brutally honest here for a second, if I don't get my system day one, I am going to be pissed. Just because I managed to pre-order my system on the 16th. I'm one of the people that got a pre-order in for the PlayStation 5 Disc Drive Edition before the system was even technically on sale. If I get screwed over, I am going to be upset, but the same thing for my Xbox Series X. If I don't get my Xbox Series X somehow, or I get put on shipment too, I am definitely going to be unhappy. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. What do you think about all this? Are you ready for the next generation? Have you managed to get a pre-order yet? Or as I've seen a lot of y'all in the comments, I've seen a lot of subscribers and stuff actually talking to me about how they're going to be waiting 6 months just to try and avoid this mess, and they're not particularly excited about the system's launch themselves. Because let's face it, there's not a ton of launch games. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. God, this is going to be such a mess. Oh God, this is going to be such a mess. This console generation is it's starting out a bit odd. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.